You have one more test. You don't have another quiz this quarter. Mainly just because we don't really have time for it. I'm sure you're not sad.
What is the?
It'll be next week. We'll review the first day, which is Tuesday, and then you'll test Thursday. All right. Okay, so today, okay, we're finishing last time's notes. Okay, you'll notice that these are all the square roots. I'm going to do my very best to accommodate y'all not maybe knowing how to work with fractions that well, but by the end of this lesson, you should be able to do it. So at the beginning, ask questions. Okay, but really, square roots aren't hard outside of the fact that you have to know how to minus fractions with each other, with other fractions. Okay, so take a look at number 10. Does anyone remember what power a square root is the same as? 1/2 is correct. So up here at the top, okay, I want you to write that a square root is really a 1/2 power. Okay? Now, right below that, you'll see that you have cubic roots. Do you remember what a cubic root is the same as for a power?
1/3.
1/3. Very good. So on number 11, I want you to put that a cubic root is the same as a 1/3 power. Okay, now for these types of questions, you're actually still doing the power rule. The only thing that makes it a little bit harder is, like I said, that they're fractions. So let's take a look at number 10. Step number 1 is going to be to rewrite this from square root form into what we're going to call rational exponent form. Okay, so rewrite y equals my 8's in the front, and then that's a square root of x, yeah? So we're going to put x to the 1/2. Now, technically, it's not just a 1/2, it's a square root of x to what power? 7, so we're going to make it 7/2. Okay, next term, I have a -4. Square root x means x to the what? 1/2, but then I see that my 1/2 also has a 5, so I'm going to change it to a 5/2. Okay, then for my last one, square root x is just going to be an x to the 1/2 because I don't additionally have a power, I just have the square root. Okay, so from there, we're ready to take the derivative. Let's do it. So y is going to go to y prime. And then remember, you times the exponent down, take away 1. That's the plan. So for this first one, I'm going to do 7/2 times 8. So I'm going to write it out first, and then maybe we'll do it in our head in other problems. So 8 times 7/2, and then 7/2 minus 1. Now, instead of writing -1, I'm going to write 2/2, because isn't that the same as 1? Okay, 1 and 2/2 are the same. So now let's do the math. What's 8 times 7? Then cut it in half. Cut it in half. Okay, let's go another way. What's 8 divided by 2?
4.
4 times 7?
28.
Great. Okay, if that's easier, do it that way. Okay, but remember, you have two options. You can times the 7 and the 8, get a 56, then cut it in half. Or you could cut the 8 in half and get a 4, then times that by 7. Okay, for my 7/2, if I take away 1, that's taking away 2/2. 7/2 minus 2/2 leaves me with 5/2. All right, we're on to the next term. I have a 5/2 up top. I'm going to times it down on my 4. So now this is a 4 times 5/2, and then 5/2 take away 1. But instead of writing 1, I'm going to write 2 halves so that it's the same type of fraction that I already have up top. 4 times 5 is 20 divided by 2, 10. If you don't like that, okay, remember that instead you could do the 4 divided with the 2 first, get a 2, times it by the 5, you'd still get a 10 in the front. Okay? For my exponent, what will it be? 3 halves. Very good, or 3 over 2. 5 halves, take away 2 halves. So 5 minus 2 on top would go to 3, keep it in half. Okay? All right, one more left. 1/2 times 6, what do I get? 3? Okay, if you want to write that out, you could, but I'm not, I'm just gonna put a 3. Okay, and then my 1/2 is gonna be minus 2 halves. So we already said half of 6 is 3. What is 1/2 take away 2 halves? Very good. Okay, now for your homework, it's going to tell you that you can't leave your answer with any negative exponents. So we're going to have to rewrite these powers back into radical form. So put y prime equals. Okay, this is your final answer, 28. The top number is the power. The bottom number is the root. So this is an x square rooted because of the half to the power of 5. Okay, for the next one, it's a minus 10. X is to the half means square root and then raised to the third. Okay, for my last one, my x is to the half, which is a square root, but the negative pushes it where? Do you remember from last class? Down into the denominator or the bottom. So this would be 3 over root x. Okay? Let's take a look at the next one. All right, number 11. These are cubic roots. So what fraction am I going to use? A third. And then if there's also a power, I'll just cut that power into thirds. So put RW for rewrite. Y equals 6x to the what for that first term? 8/3. Very good. Power over root. Okay, next one is a 9 in the front. X to what power? 5/3. Okay, then for my last one, it's a 12 with a regular cubic root, so I would just keep it a 1/3. Okay, then we're going to take the derivative. So y prime equals, okay, I'm going to do 8/3 times 6. Okay, and it's up to you if you need to write this step. I'm going to do it like we did last time. So it's 8/3 times 6. And then my 8/3 is going to have to minus 3/3. Why am I minusing 3/3? Because I have to take away 1, but I want to do it with a compatible fraction. Okay? So what's 6 divided by 3 here in the front? 2. 2 times 8 is 16. Okay, then my x was an 8/3 minus 3/3. That goes to x to the 5/3. Very good. Okay, next one. We're doing 5/3 times 9. And then my x to the 5/3 is going to lose 3/3. Because remember, I'm always powering down 1, but I'm using a compatible fraction. So what is this going to come out to be? Think about it for a sec.
45.
45 divided by 3, which is, you all said it, 15. Yeah. Now, easier way, 9 divided by 3 is 3, times by the 5, you still get 15. So the order doesn't matter, just pick what you like better. Okay, then my 5/3 minus 3/3 is x to the 2/3. Okay, last one, we have a third times 12. What's a third of 12? Yep, it's going to be a 4, because you're basically just dividing the 12 by 3. And then my x was to the 1/3, but I'm going to have to give up 3/3. So what's 1/3 minus 3/3? Negative 2/3. And remember, negatives just end up getting pushed to the bottom. You're still going to follow your radical rules, okay, where it's power over root, but it would just end up on the bottom. So let's write your final answer. Y prime equals 16x. It's a third power is a cubic root with the 5 up top. Okay, write your next term. 15x is in a cubic root with what power? A 2. Okay, and then for my last one, it's 4 over x is cubic rooted and squared. Okay, now if you're curious, it doesn't matter if the squared is inside the root or outside, it's actually equivalent either way. Okay, so no matter how you type it, it would be correct. Okay, usually I'll write it on the outside, but it doesn't matter. All right, let's go to the next one, number 12. So now you know how to do the roots. Now we're going to add in some different types of questions. How do I find where graphs are parallel? We did this last time. Same slope, and if I want same slopes, I need to set their derivatives equal. So set derivative equal to derivative. Okay, then I'm going to put because same slope. Okay, that's what parallel means, is equal slopes mean equal derivatives. Okay, so we're going to take the derivative of this first, this second, then we're going to set them equal to each other. Let's start with the cubic root. So it's the cubic root of x to the 5. What power would I rewrite that as? 5/3, very good. Okay, now we want to take the derivative of that. Notice we're rewriting it as a power, but we haven't actually done the derivative yet. So this is going to come to the front, then we're going to take away 1. So f prime equals 5/3 comes down to the front. And then what am I going to take away? 3/3, because how much is 3/3? That's 1. So my 5/3 is in front. And x will be 5/3 minus 3/3 is 2/3. Okay, that's my first derivative. Okay, now let's do the line. My line is 3y minus 45x equals 37. Okay, in order for you to take the derivative of this, we're going to need to get y by itself. Okay, we can't take the derivative of it with everything on the same side. So how can we move the 45x over? Add it. So I'm just going to put 3y equals, now it's a positive 45x plus 37. And then divide by 3. So my y is going to equal 45 divided by 3 is a 15x plus 37/3. Okay, if this could divide, I would do it, but it can't. Am I setting these equal? What did I forget to do here? Derivative. Remember, you're taking both derivatives, then setting them equal to each other. So what would y prime be? Just a 15. Very good. Because remember, when you power the x down, it's going to drop off. And then 37/3, that's just a constant. Derivative of constants go to 0. Okay, set those equal and let's solve. Where are we going to do this? So this equal to this. Okay, what do you think the first step? Actually, let's change the 2/3 power. That is a cubic root and then a squared. Okay, so I'm going to write it like that, just that way so we can solve it. Okay, how will I get rid of a 5/3 fraction? Okay, and if I divide by 5/3, really I'm just multiplying by the reciprocal. So I'm going to times 3/5 on both sides. Okay, 5/3 and 3/5 are going to cross out. So I have the cubic root of x squared equals. Okay, on this side, remember, I can go whatever order I want, but usually it seems like the division first is easier. What's 15 divided by 5? 3, and then times the extra 3, 9. Okay, next step, I have a cubic root to get rid of and a squared to get rid of. Okay, to get rid of a squared, what would I need to do to both sides? Square root. So my squared is gone. I still have the cubic root though, which I'll get rid of in a second. And then what is the square root of 9? Technically plus or minus 3. Okay, then in my last step, I need to get rid of a cubic root. How do I get rid of a cubic root? Cube. Okay, and you would need to remember to cube both of the solution options. So I'll cube positive 3 and negative 3, and I'll get 2 answers. So x is going to equal 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. And then negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3 would be negative 27. Okay, but notice we've already done parallel lines. Now you're just doing them with radical. Okay? All right, turn the page. What did we do when we had one big giant fraction like number 13? Okay, let me give you a hint. This one. What did we do?
Take out the very thing.
We divided them all by 2x separate pieces, right? So we're going to do the same thing here. So do your rewrite. We're going to take our 10x4, our 8x3, our 12x, and our 14. And we're going to divide each of them by 2x to the half. Okay, but I'm going to do it individually instead of all together. Okay, now where is the half coming from? Because we know the square root and a half are the same thing. All right, let's divide our front numbers first. Keep in mind, we're prepping the equation to take the derivative. We're not taking the derivative yet. So 10 divided by 2 on the first term is what number? 5. 8 divided by 2 on the second term is a 4. 12 divided by 2 is a 6. And then 14 divided by 2 is a 7. Good. All right, now let's do the x's. Now, if I'm wanting to take away halves, then I really need the tops to be halves as well. So you're going to times each of these numbers by 2 over 2. So for example, if my number is if my number is a 4, what's 4 times 2 over 2? 8 over 2. And is 8 divided by 2 still 4? Yeah. Okay, my next term was a 3. I'm going to double it so I can count it in halves. What would that be? 6 over 2. Okay, for my x, I'm going to call it 2 over 2. And then my 14 doesn't have one anyway, so we're just going to leave it. Okay, once I have compatible fractions, what do I do with powers when I divide their bases? Subtract. So my x to the 8 halves, which is really 4, take away 1 half. What's 8 halves minus 1 half? 7 halves. Okay, let's do the next one. My x was to the 6 halves, which is really just a 3. But 6 halves take away 1 half leaves me with 5 halves. 2 halves take away 1 half leaves me with 1 half. And then on my last term, the only x that I had is on the bottom. So remember, I can just pull it up and use a negative. Okay, let's take the derivative. Y prime equals. Okay, here we go. 7 times 5 is what? 35, and then just put it over 2. Now, if I could divide it by 2, I would. Okay, but it's going to come out to be a fraction either way. Then what am I going to take away if I want to power down by 1 with a compatible fraction? 2 over 2. And what's 7 halves? Take away 2 halves. 5 halves. Do you hate this?
Sure.
That's okay. Next one. What's 4 times 5? 20 divided by the 2? 10. Okay, then I'm going to take my 5 halves and I'm going to minus 2 halves. 5 halves, take away 2 halves is?
3,
Good. Okay, next one. I'm taking my half and I'm timesing it by -6. -3. Then my 1/2, take away 2 halves. -1/2. Very good. All right, last one. -1/2 times -7 halves. What's -1 times -7? Plus 7 over 2. I would divide it if I could, but it's going to be a fraction either way. But now it's a plus. There's a -1/2 times a -7. Okay, then I need to take away 2 halves from already -1/2. There we go, -3 halves. Okay. Then to write your answer, you're going to turn all the little rational exponents back into radicals, which is like a root. Okay, and then negatives, you're going to pop into the bottom of the fraction. So this would be y prime equals 35 over 2x to the 5th square rooted. Good on that?
Yep.
Okay, for the 10, it'd be x cubed square rooted. For the 3, it's a square root x on the bottom. And then for the 7 halves, if there's already a number on the bottom, just let the x kind of buddy up next to the 2. So if the 2 is already on bottom, they're going to end up next to each other. So x is to what power? 3 and under a square root. Okay, but the negative is what pushes it into the denominator. You get it? Okay. Now I have a little bit of good news for you. You've really done the hardest questions in this packet. The only difference is the next couple of questions, we're going to plug in an x value. Okay, so you're going to have to know how to work with square roots a little bit. Okay, but you've done the hardest part of this, okay? So let's do number 14. We want the equation of a tangent line. What are the 2 ingredients that I need to write the equation of a line? Okay, a point and a slope. Okay, for the point, I know my x is what number? 4 comma something. To find the y value that goes with the 4, I'm going to have to plug 4 into the original. So I'm going to put f of 4 equals, and then I'm just taking the 4 and dropping it in where the x is. So this is a 1 over square root 4 and an 8 over square root 4 cubed. Okay, for the first one, what's the square root of 4? So that's a 1/2 in the front. Good. Okay, then for this one, you have 2 options. You can cube first, or you can square root first. My advice would be, it's easier to go smaller first, bigger second. So what's the square root of 4? 2, and then cube it. What's 2 cubed?
8.
8. And what's 8 over 8?
1.
1. So we have a half plus 1. I'm going to just put 1.5 since we all hate fractions. Okay, half plus 1 is 1.5. If you want to put those 3 halves, that's great. That's the same. Okay, now we need to take the derivative, which is going to require a rewrite. And it's going to require a rewrite because I have square roots and some of them are in the bottom. So f of x equals 1x to what power? -1/2 is correct. Let's talk about why. The square root makes it a half. The fact it's in the bottom being pulled up makes it a -1/2. Good? Okay, next one, plus 8. My x needs to come out of the root and out of the bottom. So x is the -3/2. Okay, look at that, see if that makes sense. Any questions on the rewrite step? Yes, Aslan? Because it's a third power and a square root means cut it in half. So 3/2, the negative comes from the fact you're pulling it up from the bottom. Okay, let's take the derivative. F prime equals -1/2 times 1 is -1/2. Then we're going to have to take away 1, but we're going to do it with a compatible fraction. So I'm going to minus 2/2. What's already -1/2 minus 2 more halves? -3/2. Okay, next one. We have a -3/2 times 8. What's -3 times 8? 24 divided by 2? 12. Perfect. Now it's a -12. And then I need to take away 1, which I'm going to do as a compatible fraction of 2/2. -3/2, take away 2/2 is -5/2. Okay, then from there, before I plug my number in, I'm going to turn these back into radicals. So remember, negatives belong on the bottom. So for my 1/2, I'm going to let the square root x cubed join on the bottom with the half part. Okay, then for my other one, my -12 is going to stay on top, but my x is going to go square rooted into the 5th on bottom. Okay, then what number are we plugging in? 4, let's do it. So this is f prime of x, any x that I want, but I want f prime at 4. Okay, let's do a little bit of this in our head just because I always write too big and I run out of room. So I'm going to plug my 4 in just on top of the equation I already wrote. So 4 and 4. Okay, what's the square root of 4? 2, what's 2 cubed? 8, what's 8 times 2? 16. So that first fraction is going to be -1/16. Okay, let's run through it one more time in case you need it. Square root of 4 is 2. Cube it would be 8 times the 2 in front would be 16. Are we good? Okay, next one. Square root of 4 is 2. 5th power, let's count them out. 2 times 2 is times 2 again, times 2 again, times 2 again, 32. So I have -12/32. Now, if I want to subtract fractions with different denominators, you should know how to fix that. Okay, what would I need to times 16 by so it matches a 32? You're going to do the 2 top and bottom. So really, this is -2/32 minus 12/32, which is what? -14/32. Can that reduce? Those can both divide by 2. So that'd be -7/16 for your slope. Okay? Then from there, you're going to write your equation of your tangent line, which is the easy part. Okay, y blank equals blank x blank. My x was a 4, so I'll put in a -4. My y was a 1.5, so I'll do a -1.5. And then my slope was a -7/16. Okay, for your homework though, you don't have any quite this hard where you're having to do the whole equation. Okay? Questions on that?
Yes. Where did we get to?
Because it was 4, and then you plug in the x and the y as opposites. So the x goes to a -4, and then the 1.5 goes to a -1.5. Okay? All right, number 15, can you try the rewrite step? This one, we're only taking the derivative, no more equations. How many do we have left?
Like 6.
Okay, 6, 7, yeah. Okay. Maybe we won't do all of them, but we got it. Let's do 15. Okay, so can you try the rewrite step? You can't drop. I waited until after the drop date to teach you this perfectly. All part of my plan. Okay, this rewrite shouldn't be too bad. What does the square root x go to? So 4x to the half minus 8x to the what? Very good. Now try to take the derivative. You can do it. So you're timesing the exponent down, then taking away 1 with a compatible fraction. So half times 4 is what? 2. And then when I take away 2 halves from 1 half, I get x to the negative 1 half. Very good. Okay, next one. Negative a half times negative 8 is positive 4 because of the double negatives. And then if I take away 2 halves from negative 1 half, what am I going to get? Negative 3 halves. Okay, then we're going to rewrite and plug in our x value, which we were asked to find the slope at 3. So let's rewrite it. I'll give you a second to try it. So remember, negative exponents go where? Bottom, and halves mean square roots. Hey, look at mine and tell me what I missed. Power on which fraction, first or second? Okay, this was a 1 half is a true square root, but a 3 halves is a square root cubed. Okay, very good. Okay, then from there, what are we plugging in? 3, very good. So I want f prime of 3, which is 2 over the square root of 3, plus 4 over the square root of 3 cubed. Oh, wait, I wrote that wrong. Sorry. 3 cubed. Okay. So far, are you good? I know you don't like it. Okay, but it's just now you have to think about a little algebra 2. So I want you to write this again, but I want you to leave under the 4 blank for a second. Okay, here's how square roots work. You should have done this in geometry and algebra 2, maybe a tiny bit in pre-cal. My root 3 is cubed, yes? So what that means is every time that you have 2 of them, that number comes out. So let me ask you this. How many 3s are under this square root? 3 of them, yeah? So 2 of those 3s make a 9, right? Because we're multiplying. And what's the square root of 9? What's the square root of 9? 3. Then this is really a 3 root 3. Okay? Okay, let's go one more time. Let me do it actually this way. Maybe you'll like this better. What's 3 cubed? 27. And so if you were in pre-cal and you had to break down 27, you would do 9 times 3. And then what's the square root of 9? Do you like that better? Okay.
Yes.
But the way that I think about it is that every time you have a pair for square roots, that number is going to pull out. So if I have 3 3s, I'm going to have to leave 1 behind, but 2 of them can come out as a regular 3. But however you want to think about it is fine. Okay, so now look at your fractions. The bottoms have to match. Do they match? Almost. What does the first fraction need? 3 over 3. Which means that really 3 times 2 is 6. 3 root thirds plus 4 3 root thirds equals 10 3 root thirds. You did it. I know, I think I regret. Mario, you're so glad you dropped.
That was just to get that one answer.
Yeah. All right, turn the page.
It's like, all right, that was the last one.
No, I didn't say. I said we have 5 more left. And then you said 6, 7. Remember that whole thing happened? Okay. Okay, we'll skip 16. We'll go to 17. Okay.
Not even 5 more questions. How are we gonna do 5 more?
Well, that was the 5th that we just finished. All right, we'll skip 16.
I thought you were doing numbers.
Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, can you do the rewrite?
No.
You're doing great. You're doing such a good job.
It's so small.
Because this one is straight off of Delta Math. I just copied it. I don't think it's illegal. I have to pay them money for you to do your homework on there. So,
I'm telling this to go.
all right, let's rewrite it. RW. All right, let's lock in. You can do it. First term is a 1 over root x. What's my rewrite?
1 over 1 x. 1 negative half.
Okay, very good. 1x to the negative a half for my next term. Very good. 1/4. Now remember, you can't pull regular numbers up. If the 4 is on the bottom, that's a 4. An x I could pull up, but not a 4. So it's a 4th, and then my square root x is a half, positive or negative though? Positive, because that square root came from the top. Let's take the derivative. F prime of x equals, what is negative a half times 1? Negative a half. Okay, then we're going to take away 1 as a compatible fraction, which would be 2 halves. What's negative 1/2 minus 2 halves?
Yeah.
Negative 3 halves. Next term, I have 1/2 times 1/4. You just times the tops together, times the bottoms together. 1/8. Very good. You ate that. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Not funny. Okay, 1/2. Then minus 1 is a compatible fraction. Would be minus 2 halves. So what's 1/2 minus 2 halves?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Now do your rewrite so we can plug in. Okay, write it down. Now both of my square roots are going to end up on the bottom. Okay, so my x is to the 3rd power square rooted with the 2. And then this x is in a regular square root with 8. What's our x that we're plugging in? 4. So I'm just going to write a 4 over it to be lazy. Okay, so 4, 4. Okay, remember, for this, you want to square root the 4 first, cube it second. So go smaller than bigger. What's the square root of 4? 2 to the 3rd power. 8 times 2, 16. So I have a negative 1 over 16 plus, what's the square root of 4 here? 2. 2 times 8 is
16.
So that's a 1 over 16. What's negative a 16th plus a 16th? That would be a horizontal tangent. Wow. Good job. You're doing great. All right, turn the page. Only 2 more left. Look at us.
You probably quit here, Bess.
No, you can't quit.
You're gonna have to spend the whole time just setting those questions.
Fine, I'll make you only do 1 more. 18 or 19. 18 or 19.
What's easier?
Let's do 19. There's more space. All right, the last one. Okay, number 19. Here we go. Okay, do your rewrite. Actually, I changed my mind. I want to do 18. Please
Cross it out.
So, okay, fine. 19 is fine. Okay.
Wait, 18 part of
Okay, RW for rewrite. Okay, will someone brave read me their rewrite? Yes. Yes. Yes, perfect, queen. Okay, now take the derivative. Okay, I'll give you a minute to try it and then I'll do it. Okay, remember you're timesing the power down, take away 1 as a compatible fraction. You can do it, Caleb. I know you can do it. Yeah, so half of 2. Caleb, you're so depression today. Why?
What is 3 half times a half?
That's the tops and the bottoms together.
Oh, it's gonna be like.
Huh? Okay, let's do it. A half times 2 is 1. Then 1/2 take away 2 halves is -1/2. Okay, I had a great question. What's 3 halves times 1/2? You times the tops and the bottoms together. 3/4. Very good. Okay, so 1/2 times 3 halves is 3/4. Then I have to take away 1 as a compatible fraction. I'm minusing 2 halves. 3 halves minus 2 halves is 1/2. Let's rewrite. 1 is over the square root x because my x had a -1/2 power. Where will this square root end up? Will it buddy up with the 3 or the 4 in the fraction? Okay, it'll get to go with the 3 because what type of half is it? Positive. Versus had it been a -1/2, I would have slid it into the denominator like I did here. Now we're plugging in our number, which is what? 3. Okay, so I have 1 over √3 plus 3 √3 over 4. Now, the way that your homework looks, okay, I copied, like I said, this off Delta Math, is it says express your answer as a single fraction. That means I can't leave it fraction plus fraction. What do we know about the bottom of fractions when you're adding? They have to be what? The same. We need a common denominator. So I'm going to times this one by 4 over 4. Okay, stick with me. Okay, 4 over 4 on the first fraction, and then the second fraction needs a √3. Am I? Okay, so for my first fraction, that's a 4 plus over 4 √3. And then actually, because they're both a 4 √3, I'm just going to make like one giant fraction instead of keeping them separate. Okay, so I have a 4 √3 on the bottom. This is a regular 4. That's 4 times 1. Okay, think about what this is going to be. What's √3 times another √3? Regular 3. Very good. Here's how that happens. √3 times √3 is √9. And what's the square root of 9? 3. And then this 3 times that 3 makes it a 9. And what's 4 plus 9 on top? Good. You did it. Woo! Light work, people. Yes? Because you needed the bottoms to match. So this fraction had a 4, then that fraction needs a 4. And then this fraction had a √3, so this one needed a √3. All right, I'm going to bring you scratch paper. Let's do a little homework. You have 40 minutes. You like a little paper.
Yes.
Yes.
The class is like down like okay, about like 6 or 7.
What did you say? Hey, did you correct your test? So there's things you could do.
Yes, next week.
Would you like paper? Do you need like paper? Yes, I have a nice stack of things that I use. Would y'all like some paper? Here you go.
There you go.
Oh, maybe you look and see about the cloth in there. No, it's not. It's not. I find it in the copy room. Paper? There you go.
You play like football? Are you playing two-handed pellets?
You favorite? Yes. I have more.
We can do text correction for the last week, right?
Yes, if you need to come during advisory though, you can't come till Wednesday. I have a PSAT thing. Yeah. That's calculus. Here's the thing, if you come in 7, like I have to teach 17 notes today, so I won't be able to help you for at least like 15 minutes. So if you want to come in 7, you need to bring a friend that kind of knows what's going on. Y'all could work on it together. That way you're not just like wasting your own time.
Google answers.
You cannot Google the answers. And I will put you on the no test corrections list if I you would never do that. Huh? You may not chat
Google.
or you will end up on the no corrections list. You cannot be. You already put it past you. I can do it. You're all right. All right, y'all, on your homework. Okay, you're doing the same homework as as last time. It might be showing as late, but I'll fix it. Okay, you can now do all the level 3s and the level 2 that had a square root in it from last time. Okay, the only ones, listen, the only ones I don't want you to do right now are the limit definitions. We'll cover those in a minute, in a little bit. I'll give you a moment.
We're gonna do more?
The last part is easy. You'll be fine. Yeah.
I don't like when it's 5/3, it's like
No, so let me give you a couple other examples to help you with that. So let's say that you wanted the cosine of pi fourth. Do you remember which finger is pi fourths? Huh? Yeah, it's right there. Go ahead, sorry. Okay, how many fingers are up? So then your answer would be 2 square rooted over 2. So the rule is you square root how many fingers there are, and then you put it over 2. So let's do another one. Let's say you're on pi 6. What finger would that be? Do this one. How many cosine fingers? Then it would be root 3 over 2. Now, what are you wanting for that cosine pi?
This one's 4 cosine pi over 3.
Okay, so where's your pi thirds finger? Okay, how many fingers are up? Square root it? Still 1 over 2, so it's a half. Good? And then your sin fingers are down. All right, y'all, I know this was not your favorite lesson, but let's try your homework while it's fresh on your mind.
Wait, which one?
You can now do all the level 3s, and then there was one level 2 that had a square root in it. You can also do this bench from last time.
Yes.
Why did you not do that? Bad boy. Yeah, you need to get caught up, but it's okay. You have a test though next week. All right, nice. Can you read me your equation? I'm going blind.
I still haven't finished that. I'm on like 55 right now. Last year,
Like that?
in this
What was your right step?
I had like 8 or 7 grade.
-2 over there. Because it came out from the bottom. Because remember, the square root one is somewhere. That's really just a half. You don't have to put the square root. And then half of the you did too. Yes. Oh, no, because that's going to change. So let's work through this. So what's negative 2/3 times 3?
You're really scary.
And now we're going to take away 3/3 for negative 2. There we go. Does that make sense? And then for your answer, you just push the 5/3 into the denominator. Okay, but I'll reset it. And then Aisha, was I resetting you? Yes. Huh? Level threes, and then I think the second level two has a square root in it that you would have skipped it last time. Good. Level three built. Yes. Okay, Aisha, you're reset. Marley, you're reset. Y'all just take your time. Take your time. You can do this. You can do it. Yes? I would love to help you. Hang on, I'm coming.
It sounds like a lie.
No, it's not a lie. All right, which one are you working on? Okay, so let's write it down. So you have -4. And then what am I going to change this square root x to? X to the what? Half, right? A square root and a half power are the same. So x to the half. Okay, plus. Now your next two is on the bottom. So that means it's a 1/2 for your numbers. So 1/2. And then write your x next to it, not in the fraction though. Okay, we need to turn that into a power, so it looks like it's cubed and square rooted. So that'd be a 3. The 3 on top has the power, and then half is a number. Good so far? Okay, so think about it and ask me a question.
Oh, yeah, you're applying. I'm like, sorry, and another police will state sidewalk. You're calling.
So it's kind of like, think about this as like a 1/2, and you're just separating the 1/2 out. So it's like a number times x instead of a number under the x. You want it to be like separate. Same thing like on. Oh, you wrote this on the wrong question. See how your 2 is on bottom? So we separated it to a half. Or like, let me show you on another one. This one, you see the 4 on the bottom? So we separated it as a 4. So that the x can be next to it instead of on top of it. Yeah, a lot of y'all's questions I did make the same so you can work on it together and try to find the mistakes. Yes? Yeah. So you do IBT, do you have that sheet with the theorem on it?
Okay, wait, okay.
So it has to be continuous to say.
How the fuck? Because what?
It has to stay. So it does. So then IBT can be fine. Okay, then the way you're gonna remember which one's X and Y is you would say, okay, Y, whatever one is C. So the Y's are gonna be like the Y's are in the same area. Which would be 3 and 4. Hold on, Y. Hold on. AY. So these should be Y's. There were 3 and 5, and you have to put them in order. That's why you're not. And then why would AY would I have to see my X? Okay, and then from there, we want to 4 being the Y's.
You're up by school better.
Yes, then here's what you're asking. My graph drops off at 5, it picks back up at 3. Connect them, is it? Because there's no way I can go from 5 to 3 and not.
No.
So you would say they're X.
Yeah.
I think it's in which all of y'all's is late because it's deadline. Okay, so have you had a moment to look at that? So try to think of like a question. I don't know what would help. So what's half of -4? And now we're gonna take away 1 from a half. So what's 1/2 take away 2/2? X to the. That's right. Okay, then 3/2 times 1/2.
So this turns into -2.
This times the tops and the bottoms together. So 3 times 1 on top is a 3. 2 times 2 on bottom is a 4. And then. Okay, I know you're not doing this. Bad boy, you're fired. Okay, and then 3/2 take away 2/2 would be X. Okay, now let's rewrite it. Your X's with negative powers need to go to the bottom. So this is -2 over.
Wait.
And then square root X, because it has to be square root, but we're putting it on the bottom. Okay, then put your 3/4 fraction. Where is this X gonna go with this 3/4?
Actually, I don't want to raise that.
Square root X on top. Instead of the half, right? So a half and a square root X. Yeah, okay, now we're plugging in 4s. So -2 over square root 4. Plus 3 square root 4.
It says it's asking for.
Okay, let's do the square root of 4 is.
This is the same as this.
So that'd be -2 over 2 is -1. What's the square root of 4 here? 2 times 3 is. So plus 6 over 4. And then from there, you need your fractions to match. So you're gonna take the 1 times it by 4 over 4. So it's like a whole number. So now it's -4 over 4 plus 6 over 4. Because it's gives you how many? -4 over 4 plus 6 over 4.
Okay, we did it.
2 over 4, which is the same as.
That's right.
Yes.
I mean, hopefully, if it's
Both,
not,
both one half.
we're cooked.
Very cancel.
There we go. Good. You did it.
And then you could have, so you can. No, listen. I'll break my one too. Yeah.
This is a. So the square root of 4 is 2 over 2. Wow.
Oh, that's.
-4.
Oh, yeah. So.
2.
I don't know where. No, we're doing like 4. Look. My whole job is just saying. Look.
When you
Pay $400 an hour. Wait, okay, so. Wait, okay.
Or to the negative a half of 4. Or to the
Yeah, you were talking.
what is the square root? I just
Read her sitting there, talking course, right? It's gonna be 6, and then -1,
And then
5. You was my phone responsible as. Hold on. Okay, well, I thought it was right. Wait, maybe it's negative.
But it's doing next, I promise.
I know it's like fucking marker. I was like,
Okay. Yes. Yeah, give me 1 sec. I have to come tap. I usually speak. Oh, did y'all do it on the board? Oh, are you working on it all together though, or no? Oh, that will. It's ready. Yeah, we got it. Oh, so you don't. All right.
How would you do that?
It's not have that extra. How would you do it? On the board. So it's 3 over 2x.
Why'd you draw a wall?
Your paper.
That's your.
I know you do. Okay, so use the starting.
I didn't draw them.
What's your best?
You draw.
So right now, right? And then where is the X? We want to write it into stop. So we're gonna write it.
Oh.
You can put it where you don't need it in the fractions. We're pulling the X out. The X goes to the bottom, we're having to turn the square.
No. Like your paper. Somebody thought, well, you don't look like paper. You can't. It's all, you know, it's black. That's you can't really write on a black color with a.
I'm not, and then you're gonna.
Yeah, you're not. Wait, why didn't you use this? Basically, get you that. No, yeah. You want to get started. How do we?
Hold on, I'm gonna come to you next. Yes. What?
As you can see, there's a. You did it right.
Okay, I wanna follow your work with you and see what you did wrong.
Okay.
Okay, so right here, this was a -2. Why did it go into the bottom? That, so numbers don't go into the bottom. The X can go to the bottom because the X moment is right. So I want you to write over here to the side. You did a lot of stuff right. We're not gonna have to redo everything. From here, I want you to rewrite this as -2 over. Okay, now do you see the difference? Okay, even though this is a negative, that's just a -2. A powered negative is what shifts it to the bottom. Okay, now let's do this plus. It is a minus. No, because you can't pull the 2 down and leave a 1 on top as a place. And then let's change this half to back to a square root. The way you had it, this one was fine. So 3 square root x over 4. Okay, are we good so far?
Yeah.
Now let's plug in our 4. What's, I know, I'm saying that.
Well, I should have myself.
That's okay, so what's this? If you die, at least you learned this before you're dead. What's the square root of 4 now?
That's 2.
2 over 2 is -1. Plus, okay, what's the square root of 4 here? 2, what's 2 times 3? So 6 fourths. So write down -1 plus 6 fourths. Now let's turn our 1 into a 4 fourths.
This is like one thing.
Because you want it to be 4 over 4, yeah. So it's -4 fourths plus 6 fourths. No, -4. 2 fourths. And what is 2 fourths the same as? Oh, did it? I know these. Just take your time. You're doing a great job. Oh yeah, sure. You go. Here. Like 6, 7 ish.
9 plus 3 over 6 is 7.
Yes.
Right, wait.
It's not lose one.
So if you're pulling just a regular X up, those hours already had turn it negative. So it's an X.
I don't know how to.
Do you need help? Have you tried the rewrite yet?
I got all the way down.
Oh, let me see. Okay. So you did 2x to the 3/2 plus 3x to the 1/2, perfect. That'd be 6/2, which is a 3. X to the 1/2 is perfect. Half of 3 is 3/2 minus x. Okay, this is all so good. So then you plug this what? 9. Square root of 9 is 3 times 3 is 9. Square root of 9 is 3. What did you type in for your answer? You did it exactly right. Now the one thing is it does want it though as a fraction. So write down over here for your 9 plus a half times the 9 by 2 over 2. So what's 9 times 2 over 2? 18 halves plus 1/2 is 19. And then that's how you should.
Oh, this.
Yes.
Yes.
You already took the derivative, so you did 3 halves times 2. So careful on this, what's 2 times 3? Over 2. Over 2. And then what is 6 over 2 on that one?
I don't like.
Yeah, and this is what happens. Because it's 1 times 3 is the feet, and then 5 by 2. On this one, we forgot to take away. What's 1 half? Take away 2 half. Negative. You have the right idea. Okay. So now what's 6 divided by 2? So this is a 3 square root x. And because the x is a positive on the half, you don't have to push it down to this one though, you will. So make it 3 over 2. Does that make sense? Why? Because the x had a minus a half on it. We have to push it down. Okay, then what are you plugging in? Okay, so what's the square root of 9? And 3 times 3 is? So put in 9 plus. What's the square root of 9 here? 3 times 2 is? So this is a 3 over 6. So plus 3 over 6. Oh, perfect. And now take your 9. You're gonna have to times it by 2 over 2. So it's a compatible fraction with that. So 9 times 2 over 2 is? Just times the tops together. 9 times 2 is? 18 over 2. Plus 1 over 2. What's 18 halves plus 1 over half? 19. Very good job. Yes.
Yes, I still gotta get.
I want you to work on today's homework because today's homework is hard and you'll forget how to do it and then not have any of it done. All right, Claire, I'm resetting you. Hold on. Okay, Claire, you're reset. Do y'all need any resets at this table? No? Do you need any resets? Okay, girls, y'all need any resets at y'all's table? Okay, do you need any resets here? No? Yes?
That's right.
You're the one that needs.
Okay. Yes?
2 over 2, right? What is 9? Oh my.
18 over 2.
Exactly. So 18 over 2 now.
It's all about.
Good. Here, let me just try
I got that all of our.
Never have to use it.
this. Should be negative a so far the
Oh, it is. Just multiply
so AX would go to A, and then 2BX plus 5 is great, and now we're plugging in a negative 4. Only for the X then. So what's 2B times a negative 1?
have to do is the first thing to.
Which.
Negative 2B plus 1. Okay, these are these are both correct. So here's what I want you to do. You're gonna plug it in right here. So where your negative A is, you're gonna do negative parentheses and plug this crap in. Do you want a new paper? I have so much. Let's not stress ourselves out with writing on top of writing. Here you go. Okay, so you have negative parentheses. Your A is going in as negative 2B plus 5. Minus 2. And then actually, this shouldn't be. What's negative 1? And 1 times B is just a regular. So just take the, make it a B minus 3. Okay, from there, times the negative in. My God.
Dog.
Yes.
Little
Yes.
Either.
Good. Now let's combine like terms, so that's really a 2b minus 7. Okay, now let's minus that loner b across to the 2b. So now that just be a regular b, right? And then how do you get rid of the minus 7? Yes. I'm going to check that that's the right b before you keep going.
I don't know, I think.
Your b came out to be 4 is correct. Now you still need to find your a. But remember, you have a substitute. A is -2 times the answer for b, which you now know is a 4. And then you do
What the hell?
so it'd be 1/2 x to the 3. Got it? Plus 3 halves x to the minus 1. Because you're pulling a regular x out.
Sure.
Okay. Can you pitch into each other?
We have this. I did this.
We're gonna delete. You have the negative there, it's that's on the bottom. Okay, so now.
I think it's very possible. I have
So
five.
both one here is times by 3 top and bottom,
Hell yeah.
which means now we have -5 over 6 3 5
Go for it.
plus 9
Yeah,
over
different
5
column.
over 6. Now they got 10.
It's all.
Yeah. So 5 over 5. So now one big round. And then on top you have -5 plus. Once you have a repeat. What's your perfect? We're at 25. And 5 times 9. 5 plus 5 is over 6. 5.
Are you holding?
The 4 and the 6 are both.
Are you holding?
So it'd be 20.
It's like 6%. It's 3, right? Yes.
Oh wait, hold on, you want.
How you gonna do this, right?
Square root.
Who's your dad?
My dad left. Good thing that's good.
Okay, we get the homework done?
Judaism is struggle.
Little silly. Oh, do you wanna borrow a charger? Okay, I got you.
Yes, yeah. Did you actually? Yes.
Brett, we work on homework. Little silly guy.
There's psychology. Look.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna reset her first. It'll only take a second.
Listen, I have my hand raised for 67 seconds.
Okay, there are so many of y'all. And don't act, Caleb, like I haven't visited you. I love to visit you. Okay, that seems unnecessary. No, I just meant like it's not like I'm avoiding you. Okay, it's me. Okay, are y'all, do y'all happen to be on the same question? Okay, I'm gonna help you with your rewrite and then I want you to try the derivative by yourself. Have you done the rewrite yet?
I just got it wrong. This one's good.
Huh?
I think it's good.
Oh, then, okay.
Wait.
-6x minus 1. What's -1 times -6?
What did you do?
Right here. So it was a 6x to the -1, right? What's -1 times -6? Make it a 6x to the negative squared, and that might fix it. So now make that a +6 +6. Then on your second one, it was x to the 3/2 would be a minus 3/2, 1/2, that's correct. Okay, I think from here you're good. So try again. What, you had a question? Negative x 3/2 minus, you need to pull that x up. So scribble your x out of the bottom and write it next to it. So 2x to the, no, it's not a square root. It's a regular x. So does it get a 1/2 if it's a regular x? It's not a square root though, right? So what's the power on x? A 1, right? So that's a 2x to the minus 1.
That's a square root of 3.
There you go. That's your original that you'll take the nearest one. So then do 3/2 times your negative makes it a minus 3/2.
I divided by 2, what? That's not possible. 9 divided by
Well, it's fine, because it's 9 divided by 2. Okay, that's right. It's 3/2 times the negative, and now we're gonna take away 1. So what's 3/2 take away 2/2?
What's it?
X to the 1/2, good. Okay, then you already had a minus 2 in the front, what's negative 1 times negative 2? Plus 2, right? Because it's a negative here and a negative there. And then you have to take away 1 more from a negative 1. It'll go to x negative 2. Okay, then one more step, negative 3/2. Where is the x gonna go? The 3 on top or the 2 on bottom? Top, so make it negative 3 square root x over 2. All of them over 2. Okay, plus. And then where's your x squared gonna go? It's x negative 4. So make it 2 over 2. And now plug in your x. You want me to check?
It's 5. Oh, it's actually the bottom.
Can I see your work? Can you pinch in? Just make it like a blind person needs to read it. Okay, so 2x 3/2 plus 3x 1/2. 3 over 2 is 6 over 2, which is 3, but then you crossed it out. That was correct. Okay, then your next one, 1/2 times 3 is 3/2. Take away the square root, goes to the bottom. What are you plugging in for your x? So square root of 9, 3 times 3 is 9/2. Square root of 9 is 3 times 2 is 6. So you have 9/2 plus 1. Okay, y'all are so silly. What is 3/6 the same as?
Like maybe a half.
So let's write 9/2 plus 1/2. You already had a 9/2, and 3/6 is also a half. 9/2 plus 1/2 is 10/2. What's 10 divided by 2? So 5 is correct. Well, I'm just trying to find that. Okay, let's see. So you did 3/2 times 2 is 3. And then x to the half,
On Sunday.
which would be.
Are you gonna go?
Oh, wait. No.
You wanna train that box?
Oh, okay. I see what you did wrong. Are you ready, Thomas? Okay. You had it right, and then where did this random half happen?
I thought you bring 2. Yeah.
So hold on, go back to the original. It was 2x to the 3/2, you know? So 3/2 times 2/2 is 6/2, which is 3. What's 2 times 3 is 6, but then you have to still divide by 2. What's 6 divided by 2? 3 is a whole number. So this should be a 3 root x, not a 3/2 root x. So hold on, let's fix. You understand or no? So, okay, what's 3/2 times 2? 6/2. What's 6/2? 3. So I want you to erase this divide by 2. That's a regular 3, not a 3/2. So now this is a regular 9, not a 9/2. So 9 plus a half. Okay, but you have to put it in as a fraction, so write down, not erase your 2 here. Actually don't erase it, just make it, this is a regular 9 and then 2/2. So what's 9 times 2? 18 halves plus 1/2 is 19 halves. Just put in 19 halves. Whoa! Look at you go! I won't even say anything about the bad word.
Wait, what? Wait, you did it, bro. You're such a potter. You're straight on. Oh, I did. Guess what? You got it wrong. This is it. But, so I have that, and then if you divide it by 2, I'm gonna be. Oh, you got it. I got it right before game. And I'm at 67%. No, we're actually not cheated off of. Cheated off. You actually might do it. I'm just happy I'm at a higher percentage. Higher percentage. Wait, what are you at?
Yeah. I have the super nerd club. Both invite yes. No, we don't. Either.
Don't you keep this in the.
Oh my god. You know, like one question about the wrong. It makes one small mistake.
Negative 1 times 5 negative 5 half. Negative 2 and negative
Birthday is not that bad.
now pull those negative 5 down.
They don't. They put a little bit of cheese on it.
Plus
They teach it.
over. Yeah. And then what I.
But you're either having raw broccoli or steamed broccoli. Like, oh,
One,
it's a
so
raw.
negative 5 half plus. And then let's get a common denominator. So that one you get times by 3/3. Other one you get times by 2.
But you should know better.
Negative 15.
Bro, like I.
3 times 5. Bye, have a good day. And then 4.
You even own an air fryer, bro? I own an air fryer. I can't say air fryer.
Come on, baby. Negative 11, 6. What was your
Silver box. Like, they're probably like $300.
Okay. And then once we are into stuff, you have it, you're gonna be.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Resell drugs. Drugs are not very sellable.
Yeah.
And one lady.
I feel like we just did too much today to add anything else, you know? You seem like you got it though, Aisha. Well, I feel like with the fractions and the roots and all the stuff, it is kind of a lot. But you did a great job. Hello. Scholar on day.
Hold on. Patience to virtue.
Right, there you go. Right. Yes. You'd like day 6 as your birthday right now. You want the other day? We're on day 4. We started on one of them.
Okay. What am I gonna do?
All we're doing is 8 problems today. And you guys are just trying it. If you want help, I'm here to help. If you want to, we're doing math this whole week, and then beginning of next week, then you'll switch to English.
Okay.
You got it. You can sit anywhere. You, I think. You probably don't need a calculator, but you're welcome to use one if you want. Okay. And then what's your name?
Oh,
Okay. And you already checked in with your advisory teacher?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Are we still doing the SAT doing the?
Uh-huh. You may not finish all 8 today because of the fire drill, but we'll just do what we can.